There are some pretty darn cool things that we can do to embrace Huga to make winter way better. So I consulted an expert.
I'm Diane in Denmark, and I am the lady with the pom-poms if you've ever watched me on YouTube. And I help people to implement some good routines into their lives so they can get more joy. We're just kind of simplifying everything. And I'm big on the Huga because I'm here in Denmark.
Now we are going to talk all about how to embrace Huga. And Diane corrected my pronunciation. I think it's okay. I was saying Huga, and now she said, no, it's faster. So it's like Huga. So what's the problem with winter?
We have the long summer evenings, which are fantastic, and then we have the dark winter days, which are not so fantastic, and that's why I'm a big fan of Huga.
Now, did you know that up to 10% of the population experiences seasonal affective disorder? And women are affected 3 to 1 compared to men. And of course, the more north you get in the world, the way worse you can actually feel.
So I live on the side of a mountain, and since we moved here, it's really dark. And I actually have suffered from seasonal affective disorder a little bit in the winter.
Now, if I don't get this sorted out, it is going to be a long and depressing winter, and I think Huga is the answer.
Huga is not a merchandise thing for us in Denmark. It's just a way of life. If I can boil it down, it's to enjoying the simple things in life, enjoying every day. And usually it's connected to nature or those social connections with friends or family. So it's just really, basically, it's decluttering all the excess from around us, from the noise that we have, even the belongings that we have. And we're just boiling down what is really important.
It is not just for winter. Diane told me you can do it all year, summer, whenever. But for me, I find winter is like by far the hardest season. And probably since human existence, it has been one of the hardest seasons. I think Huga is probably the perfect solution because it involves a lot of my favorite things, like food, nature, snacks, blankets and being cozy, and friends. Maybe we just need weekly slumber parties all season. Now let's explore these things as I embrace Huga starting this November, and I will share my very favorite tip that Diane gave me later on. Obviously, we have to talk about food first. Truly, it is probably one of my very favorite things in life. After my family, of course.
Eating mushrooms right now or having hot chocolate, really leaning into that side of things. But of course we also have the cozy blankets, the warm socks.
I have a lot more time in the winter. I'm not gardening. It's super dark. It gets dark here at like 4 o'clock around Christmas time. And I've got a lot more time.
I have more time to cook. And one of the most important things for me to cook is healthy food. Because if I'm eating a bunch of sugary treats, I am not going to feel good. I'm going to feel tired. But if I'm feeding myself healthy things, it feels good, and that makes the winter so much easier.
You can even forage for food, and that brings me to nature.
And the Danes like to bring the outside inside. That's a very common expression, bringing the outside inside. And when you're out for a walk, the Danes will often be collecting horse chestnuts. I don't know if you have that type of tree where you are. All different kinds of leaves. They do a lot of crafts. And the main thing that you've got to do, but I say this all year round, is getting outside. I'm a winter bather, which is a Danish practice. I've been doing that for about 12, 13 years. And we dip in the water all year round. Even when it's snowing, even when it's icy.
And of course, a lot of people are cold plunging lately. I'm sure you've seen it all over Instagram. And Diane even suggests if you can't get to the ocean or a large body of water, even just using an inflatable tub. She goes into her shed.
But I have a little inflatable, basically like a paddling pool, which I have in the garden shed, and I'm out there in the morning when it's dark, and I go in there, I dip for a couple of minutes, and then I come in, have my hot coffee, then have my hot shower. And this morning, when I went outside, the moon was out, the stars, and then after I had my shower, then the sun was coming up.
Oh my gosh, I love these candles. This is really nice. Exercise is so important, and I usually work out inside my house for my mental health. Literally all winter long, it is just the most important thing. In the summer, I didn't as much because I'd be gardening or whatever, but I actually think doing even more walking outside, even in the rain or snow, is probably even better for my mental health. But it gets cold out there. The best part of going outside is that you can actually come inside to a nice cozy home. And some of the ways I like to make my home cozy is with soft lamps and fairy lights in my office. Now, I usually haul out these cute little fairy lights right around the end of October, beginning November, like basically around the time change, which, by the way, if we're getting into it, I can't stand the time change. But anyway, it is so freaking cozy. I also love this lamp here. You probably saw me when I was putting out the beautiful lights. That is from IKEA. It's just so warm and comforting in this room. And the other thing I want to tell you about these cute little fairy lights is I got the kind that plugs into my computer USB, and I'll see if I can find them and I will link them below. There were a bunch of settings like flashing and everything. I just want it on steady and the timer for like 8 hours. I really like this other tip that Diane has about creating a special basket.
If you've not already made a Huga basket, make one of those. I've got a video about that. I made it recently. And basically I have a little basket, and it's beside my favorite reading chair, and mine is in the living room, but maybe you have a favorite place you like to sit out on your porch or in your kitchen. Kids can make one too, and you just put a few things in there that really give you those good vibes. And in mine, I've got my cordless headphones, and I have a book that I'm reading. Maybe you can put Sudoku, maybe you like to knit, crochet, some pens and paper to do some doodling. The kids can put in some favourite toys in there, a little plushie, some hand cream, a little favourite perfume that you like, give yourself a little scoosh of perfume. And then when you're just needing a little moment, you can sit in your favourite chair, take a blanket around you and have a look at your basket and just do a couple of things. And also in there, I have some snacks, which are kind of healthy and not so healthy snacks. And you know, the kids could do the same. A couple of little treats for them.
I love snacks. One of the hardest times for me is January. I feel like November, I am just enjoying the fall and starting to lead up to Christmas. One of my favorite things, I have like a whole system. You can check out my videos on that. I also really love December, of course. There is that weird week after Christmas, and that's when it starts going downhill for me. And then boom, January's here, and February, the worst months. But Diane has a brilliant idea.
But also in the month of January, I meet up with friends and we actually say, you know, December can be very busy with family, with things going on, you know, the diary is fully booked. And we say, okay, we're not going to aim to meet in December, let's meet in January. And often, I know from friends in Scotland, in January, all the restaurants have special offers on. You can eat for half price in January, all those kind of things. So you can actually plan that out now. Say to friends, okay, I know winter's coming up, we're going to be busy in December, but how about we meet once a week in January and we do something together. We go and see a movie, we go and walk once a week in the forest. We go and eat out, take a packed lunch and sit outside somewhere. But it's actually the planning of it, because when you have the plan, you have something to look forward to.
Huga is all about connecting with others. So in my head, what I always picture is just getting cozy with a book and a candle and some tea. But socializing is actually so important, and I'm really recognizing that. And sometimes the more depressed or bummed out that we're starting to feel, the more we isolate ourselves, which makes us feel 1,000 times worse. And then we isolate ourselves even more. So this year, I'm going to be really intentional about meeting with friends for coffee, going for walks. Of course, we'll be so good about getting outside. So I think I'm going to go like minimum, go for one walk a week, maybe like one coffee a week. I also think even just a quick getaway to a cheap hotel in Vancouver, maybe not that cheap, might be a nice treat too. Even if the weather is just as bad here or there as it is here, because it's like just across the water, at least it's a change in scenery. But one thing I think really helps with the winter bloss is having a place that you can escape to that has some of your very favorite things stashed away. Check out this video all about my secret room. Don't forget to check out Diane's Scandinavian Christmas series. Thank you so much to Diane for teaching us all about Huga, and I hope something fun happens for you today. Thanks so much for watching.